Alright, so this is going to be another movie review. I'm starting off my Memorial Day weekend with another obscure Catholic documentary. This one's called Homeless but Human. It doesn't have any IMDb page or Wikipedia page, but I will read off both the forum.org website as well as Christ in the City website, and a little review from the Denver Catholic. There's a link on the Christ in the City website to the Denver Catholic. I'm giving this 2 out of 5 stars. I thought the whole approach to the homeless situation in Denver and now Philadelphia is completely wrong. It's not focused on saving these people's souls or getting them to learn the nonviolent teachings of Christ. It is focused on putting a roof over their head, and maybe they'll cling to some vague Christian concepts later on. It doesn't focus on faith or evangelization per se, and that's why I think it's the wrong approach. When I was in Legion of Mary, we would hand out rosaries and miraculous medals. We would pray with the homeless people. This is more of a hands-off approach. It's more like Knights of Columbus type approach. I like some of the women characters, some of the women homeless people in here. One of them's deaf and blind. She was kind of interesting. I forgot her name, Mama something. And maybe I can pull up her name on the Denver Catholic. There's also another 50-year-old who knows how to play the guitar and sing. Her voice is kind of raspy, but she's got some musical skills. And it's funny. It's funny watching the deaf and blind woman go like this. And ironically, I didn't expect to see blasphemy on the forum.org website, but there is some blasphemy in this. And I was skeptical about Christ in the City because it's supported by the Archdiocese of Denver, and I guess now it's also supported by the Archdiocese of Philadelphia. So I looked up Christ in the City. Apparently, they don't promote homosexuality or abortion or communism or any of those. So it seems to be a legitimate organization. But again, their focus is not based on saving people's souls. It's about putting the roof over their head, having a friend, a pal for some street people, and maybe getting them a hot meal when they're hungry. That's the entire approach. It's like Knights of Columbus. And I used to have some experience doing this kind of work in the Tenderloin. But again, when I was with Legion of Mary, they would pass out rosaries and miraculous medals, and we would pray. We would pray with the homeless. Some of the guy that the people in Legion of Mary, though, the problem was that they were praying to false idols because they got hung up in this pro-life nonsense. And so even if you have the right goal, you have to have intention or faith in Christ's teaching. Otherwise, you're just praying to false idols. So I don't think there is an organization that is addressing the homeless situation properly. Maybe that's a gap in Catholic lay organizations. But I guess there are only 2 or 3 such organizations around. You got Knights of Columbus, Christ in the City, and Legion of Mary. That's about it. It's really sad. Back in the 60s, you probably had like 50 of these organizations. Now it's dwindled down to 2 or 3, and the Knights of Columbus Wheaton Agency was the sponsor when this movie came out in theaters. Knights of Columbus sponsored the movie. So, anyways, I just think it's the wrong focus, the wrong approach. It's just all wrong. I think it's I don't know. I just have a low opinion of this Christ in the City. Maybe I'm being too nitpicky, but I never was a fan of the Knights of Columbus approach. At least Legion of Mary had it half right. You're better off handing out rosaries and miraculous medals than you are giving people a roof over their head or food or friendship or whatever. So I think the Legion of Mary people were onto something. They could have done way better, but at least they had the right approach. The implementation was not good, but the approach was good. All right. So Homeless but Human, Christ in the City, 39 minutes. This powerful documentary captures the transformation of individuals living on the streets that the Christ in the City missionaries encounter, and showcases a new approach to the rising crisis of homelessness. Yeah. It's pretty bad in San Francisco, Oakland, Denver, Philadelphia, all the big cities, even Seattle now. It's even affected Seattle. I think Tacoma has the highest crime rate in the nation, even worse than Oakland. The film's videographer spent a year with the missionaries, providing a rare opportunity to see the incredible impact they have on the lives of those they serve. It's not really incredible. I'm not seeing much in the way of evangelization here. I mean, yeah, you can get them to pray and believe in God, but what good is it if they don't have faith in Christ's teaching? If you don't carry the cross, your prayers and your belief in God is worthless. They are worthless, is what I mean to say. All right. So the films, through their unique relational approach, is it really unique? I think the Knights of Columbus have been doing this for a long time. Christ in the City is changing lives and offering hope to those who have lost everything. Do they have hope to reach heaven? Or do they have hope to pursue earthly things? I think there's a difference there. This film is a must-see for anyone who wants to understand the root causes of homelessness and witness the power of human connection in addressing this critical issue. Well, is homelessness something that needs to be addressed in the first place? Or is it the salvation of souls, the whole purpose of the Catholic Church? I think that's a little legitimate question to ask, and forgive me if I'm being a little bit cynical here. Get ready to be inspired by a new film that follows the Christ in the City missionaries in their work with the homeless. All right. So is Christ's mission to save souls, or to find a roof over somebody's head? This powerful documentary, or to be a do-gooder on this planet, this rock called planet Earth. This powerful documentary captures the transformation of individuals living on the streets that the missionaries encounter, and showcases a new approach to the rising crisis of homelessness. So can they do better? The government agencies for treating the so-called homeless problem? Probably, but is it an urgent thing? Is it on the top of the list of things to do? No, on the top of the list of things to do is the salvation of souls. The filmmakers spend a year with the missionaries, providing a rare opportunity to see the incredible impact they have on the lives of those they serve. Through their unique relational approach, Christ in the City is changing lives and offering hope to those who have lost everything. This film is a must-see for anyone who wants to understand the root causes of homelessness and witness the power of human connection in addressing this critical issue. So basically, both websites have the same summary here. Here's the review from the Denver Catholic. New Christ in the City documentary, a powerful reminder that homeless are human, homeless but human. What does hope sound like? What does it look like? According to 5 homeless and formerly homeless Denverites, it looks like a group of kids approaching, and it sounds like hello. That's it? Hello? How about let's do some Hail Marys, Our Fathers. They come out and they know everybody's names. They remember what everybody's thing is. Shared Trish, a friend of Christ in the city, some of the stodgiest, crankiest, most irritating guys on the streets get all kinds of lit up when the Christ in the city kids come around. You have no idea how huge that is. These are lives being saved because somebody remembered somebody's name, because one of the kids remembers somebody's name at the right time on the right day. So is this about saving souls or saving lives? Well, this is what the Archdiocese of Denver and Archdiocese of Philadelphia do. In other words, they're more concerned about helping people on planet Earth than they are about helping people reach heaven to see the beatific vision. Homeless but Human, a documentary about the work and mission of Christ in the city, compellingly tells the story of the missionary staff, alumni, and most importantly, those they serve. So we like Trish. We like the mama, blind and deaf woman. Her face is all mangled and her eyeballs look like some kind of horror movie. More than a simple recounting, the documentary invites the audience into the experience of walking the streets, encountering the poor, and accompanying them in their particular circumstances. Pushing them around in a wheelchair, which is how the gamer saint got canonized. He should be uncanonized. Produced by Abby Arnold and Macy Weaver, and filmed and edited by Martin Jernberg. The production is a product of a year of walking the streets, talking to missionary staff and the homeless, and delving deeply into the mission of Christ in the city. The depths of Jernberg's immersion in the life of Christ in the city are evident in the film, which is imbued with the spirit of compassionate, loving service to the poor that the missionaries offer day in and day out. In other words, they're do-gooders. They want to provide meals and get a roof over somebody's head with government housing. You know, this kind of thing. The film, like Christ in the City itself, strikes the viewer's hearts differently than other films. Didn't strike my heart. They play a lot of tearjerker music to suck you into this compassionate feeling for homeless people. But it didn't really suck me in, because if you want to be compassionate towards homeless people, you get them on the pathway to Jesus' teachings, nonviolence, and Jesus' commandment, love one another as I have loved you. I mean, you can sort of see that being expressed by these kids, but they're not really trying to imbue it on their friends. They've got kind of a libertarian, hands-off approach to evangelization, which is kind of disturbing to me because I think it's the wrong approach and it's not being implemented correctly. So you've got a double whammy there. All right. Ivan, a volunteer, interviewed for the documentary, summed this mystery factor up while saying, there's something special about Christ in the City that you really can't explain. You just have to experience it in some fashion. And they got some kind of communist kibbutz living situation where they share shoes and food, and they don't get to pick what kind of food they want. So it's not like a sorority house or something like that. It's more like a kibbutz or a commune or a nunnery. It's like that. It could be said that this mystery factor is a striving to live as Christ himself. Really? You mean to say Christ only wandered the earth to give people food and and shelter? Is that why Christ wandered the earth, or was he trying to get people to go to heaven? We're not just trying to do something practical, shared Father Daniel Cordo, SCV, the chaplain of Christ in the City and pastor of Holy Name Parish in Sheridan. Bet you $5 he's a Novus Ordite. We're not just trying to get numbers. We're witnessing Christ coming to the city first and foremost in the minds and hearts of the missionaries who are very generously spending a year or two to be Christ in the city. Do they have the freedom to evangelize? Doesn't seem like it. In their effort to live and serve as Christ did, the missionaries show a profound love for the poor that they encounter, a love to which the homeless and formerly homeless featured in the documentary testify. Just knowing that you guys love me and that you're just there, it's a great feeling, said Mama Jerry. That's her name, Mama Jerry. We like Mama Jerry on this channel, a longtime friend of Christ in the City. She does her little Beach Boys surfing dance. It fills my heart. I thank the big guy every night for you guys. Every night before I go to bed, I say, thank you. Thank you for putting these kids in my life. Is that what God's love is about? Thanking God for having a bunch of kids around? It's a generally tight-knit community, shared Lucky, another friend of Christ in the City, describing the homeless community. We generally don't let outsiders in, and I've noticed that you all have developed special relationships. Well, isn't that nice? More than just a surface level hello, these relationships span much of human experience, joy and sorrow, success and suffering. Why isn't the Pope out there? He's supposed to be the suffering servant. Nevertheless, or the so-called Pope, whatever his name is, Bob. We call him Bob on this channel. Nevertheless, Lucky is intensely aware of the missionaries' dedication and love. There's nobody else that would spend the time or energy, or if so, have the desire to do it like y'all do. And y'all actually care. Sometimes y'all can't fix the situation, but you can just get it off my chest. I've cried, I've laughed, everything. I've showed more emotion the past year than the 8 years I did in prison combined. Well, I guess this is a prison recidivist program here. Keep people off drugs, alcohol, in prison. It is into this very community that the missionaries enter each time they walk their street routes, starting with a simple hello. They encounter the homeless, come to know them deeply, and accompany them in the day-to-day experiences of the streets, sitting with them in their camps and on sidewalks, taking them for meals and coffee, and even going with them to doctor's appointments, court hearings, and housing consultations. So this is another Catholic. I wouldn't be surprised if this was part of the Catholic campaign for human development. Which I refuse to participate in. There's much that can be said of Christ in the City, their mission, work, and impact. Homeless but Human beautifully represents the mission and spirit of Christ in the City and their bold answer to a culture of commodity, a throwaway culture, as Bergoglio has put it. They actually quote Bergoglio here. Now I have even less respect for this movie. A culture of encounter in which each and every person may be seen, known, loved, and served. Do you really love this person if you don't explain the true meaning of the gospel according to Jesus? I would love to touch a stranger's life in the way that you have all touched my life, shared Roy, a friend of Christ in the City, summing up the missionary's impact in his life. Since I've met my friends, I don't feel homeless. They're being there when I needed them, and even when I don't need. I know that their prayers are with me, and that just, it keeps me alive. So that's the mission of Christ in the City, to keep a homeless person alive one more day. Well, how about saving their souls? The salvation of souls is the primary of canon law. Why is it not the primary purpose of these Catholic lay organizations? Why? Christ's mission is not to do good or to better the human condition on earth. I think people are confused, and Bergoglio is responsible. So it's a wrong approach, the wrong implementation, in my view. And it's not accomplishing the more important thing of saving people's souls. That is way more important than putting a roof over their head or giving them a food or coffee or whatever. I used to see these people in the Tenderloin, these fake Christians. They used to hand out hot cocoa. As if that's going to do anything to save their soul. Oh, these people are just, they don't get it. Anyways, I'm done complaining about homeless but human. And I have my parochial vicar to blame for referring me to form.org. And the irony was that I was confessing my sins of watching blasphemous movies to him. And he said, "Oh, watch form.org." And this film that I just watched, Homeless but Human, has blasphemy in it. Big surprise there. All right. So I guess now I'm done complaining about Homeless but Human. First on my list is Savage Justice, 1988. I'll try to get to that. I'll try to finish that tonight. About ready to cook dinner. Got an early start to my weekend of I got my boss let me go home early at 2. So I locked up the office, got the heck out of there. I told my coworkers, don't lock yourself out. Because I locked all the doors. All right. So number 1 is Savage Justice, 1988, followed by Cuban Rebel Girls, 1959, sorry. Cuban Rebel Girls, I believe that's Errol Flynn, last movie. And then $2 Better from 1951. So I don't know who recommended Savage Justice, probably Adrian. But I'll take a wild guess and I'll say Adrian. So that's the end of my review. And for this one, I'll say skip it. Don't watch. But I will watch Radiating Joy, the Michelle Dupont story. Michelle Dupont looks like a very charming young lady. I'm sort of intrigued by that one. So I'll keep checking out forum.org. Maybe there's an actual gem on there. But, Father McCarthy should Ellen Finnegan, they should collaborate with forum.org to put some real Catholic stuff. Catholics against militarism on forum.org. They should put Father McCarthy's knock sermons or homilies, his Behold the Lamb series. They should put Father McCarthy's Behold the Lamb series on forum.org. They should do a documentary on the chaplain who was involved with the Hiroshima Nagasaki bombings. I forgot his name, but he's on Vimeo. I'm going to check him out later.